Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV, celebrity gossip, content creators on TikTok, Jeff Lewis Extended, all the things that I obsess over. Because you know what? I love that we have met our people. I love finding other people that watch the shows, listen to the stuff I'm into, obsess over the stories I do. So if you are new, welcome. Get comfortable in comments. Tell us where you're from. Make sure you join the Sarah from Texas Facebook group and that you're following me everywhere. Make sure to like on TikTok. Thank you so much. So this morning, if you follow me on Instagram, that's where I usually post in stories, more of my daily life, if you will. And I was at the annual mentor breakfast. Okay. So I have been a mentor. This is starting year 4. So I was a teacher for 5 years, and this program started right before that. But at that time, I was very busy with my own 5 kids and wasn't a mentor then. But as soon as I stopped being a teacher and became a stay-at-home mom again, I immediately signed up for our local school district mentor program and love it. So I was at this breakfast with probably, I don't know how many were in the room. There's 2 different sessions, a morning one and an evening one. There's probably 100, 200 people. I don't even know. I didn't. But if I would have raised my hand and said, hey, does anyone know Jeff Lewis? They'd have probably looked at me like I was crazy. So I am not surrounding myself with the right people. So I had to find my community on social media. So I am so glad that we have each other. I am so glad that a lot of you have met in person. I have met you. We've become friends. We really get to know each other in the chat and on the Facebook group. So it is so fun because I feel like y'all know all the stuff. Y'all know what I want to chat about. I'll chat about mentoring. If anyone has any questions about mentoring programs, hit me up. I can chat about most any topic. But I love chatting about, TikTok creators that are confusing to me, like we'll talk about today, Pearly freaking Sparkles. She's either confusing or a genius. I don't really know. Diane says, I'm new to this, but you aren't even looking at us. I know. I'm so welcome. If I am on 3 different platforms. So I have a computer in front of me. Shout out YouTube and Facebook. My phone is on Instagram and my iPad is on TikTok. So you're right. But TikTok doesn't record and go up as a replay. So it's easier for me to look straight at my computer because all of these platforms that I look at record. So anyways, I do go over and check comments. So Diane, oh, you're funny. So this is about you. Yeah, that's what a podcast is. Welcome. I know you're new. A podcast chats about themselves and their life, and then they chat about anything else they want. So anyways, Tanya likes the blinking light. So I've been doing a little bit. So this little blinking light thing has about 7 different options. So I'm just kind of putting it on whatever I want to put it on every day, when I come up here. So anyways, okay, so let's get started. There's some Kelly Dodd update. I don't know if I was chatting about it I can't even remember what I chat with y'all about every day. I definitely know we've been chatting about it in the Facebook group. I wasn't going to make a story about it because we know Kelly Dodd hates me. Let's be clear. Somebody let me know the other day, she calls me like the dumb blonde who is obsessed about things. I don't even know what she calls me. Whatever. If I was besties with her, Jeff Lewis, she would be all over me. She'd probably even invite me. Or if I had, hundreds of thousands of followers, she'd be like, invite me on the smash. But I can't do anything for her. So she has no use for little old Sarah from Texas. Anyway, so I wasn't going to make a story, but then it just got to be too much, literally. Okay, so quick update on Kelly Dodd. She has only one kid, Jolie. She's 18 years old. I don't follow her anymore. So when y'all informed me of this during a live the other day, I had to go over to her Instagram and read her stories because Instagram stories disappear after 24 hours. So you don't get them. Yes, y'all have lots of opinions on Kelly. So a lot of you are, yes. Anyways, so she apparently had been doing stories on, she shares a lot of her life, her and her bestie taking her daughter over to college at American University in Paris, showing the dorm apartment, showing the outside, showing the door, showing the inside. So, maybe talking about the expensive designer things that she was bringing and other stuff. So, starts off the other day. Today is Wednesday, so I guess it was Monday, and she's like videoing in her apartment or rental, whatever, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, my daughter was broken into. She was robbed. All the things. They probably took her computer and her expensive speaker and her $8,000 Louis Vuitton that Auntie Asia gave her. Auntie Free, okay, Auntie Asia. Anyways, all the things. It progressed. So go back and watch yesterday's podcast because I definitely chatted about it there. So today, somebody lets me know that she had posted an update, and now she was basically coming at the kids that are maybe harassing her daughter, Jolie. She was like, "Don't come at my daughter. If you have something to say to her, come at me." So this brings up the question, because a lot of you in comments, I did make a story about it, and she's basically saying this, either the school is mad or people are mad that she was posting about this, because I guess one of the girls was seen underage drinking in the video, I guess, because, she always pans around and shows people that didn't agree to be in an Instagram story that she has, like, what does she have? Like 800,000 followers, a lot. And anyway, so then she was praising in another story with this other few moms. Then she was praising American University and how they've handled the whole situation. They've been very communicative. And she actually now says, because this is not what she said the other day, that she feels safe, and she feels safe leaving her daughter Jolie in Paris because it's probably safer than the United States. So anyways, they are fighting in Paris. Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? Michael Riley says, wrote Rick, now they are fighting in Paris. I don't know who's fighting. You have to clarify, Michael Riley. And anyways, but then she kind of said, so she basically retracted everything, but she's mad, which I get as a mom, but she has also gone after other people's children publicly that, that she's gone after Heather Dubrow's kids and said some quite insane things. She's gone after their parenting. Anyway, so the fact that she doesn't want people coming after Jolie, I'm like, I don't know. A lot of you are saying she set Jolie up for failure with this. She was posting about this, and maybe, things that like happened to Kim Kardashian years ago in Paris, where she was posting minute by minute, wearing all these diamonds, all the things. And then all of a sudden somebody, attacked her horribly, like really awful, and, robbed her. So Michael Riley says they're moving her to another place. Now, they said the other day she was moving and she was getting a roommate. So I'm assuming, but it was kind of confusing because in this latest story, she did say that Jolie was broken into. So I'm assuming that meant they tried to break into her door and they couldn't, because they couldn't get it through the lock. I don't really know what she meant by that. So y'all let me know what she meant by that. She's probably posting all the time. So Michael Riley is saying that the school is moving a group of students to a new location for the girls, which makes sense, right? I mean, that's going to happen because I think Kelly was definitely saying the other day in a story that they were targeting the girls. So that she showed these apartment doors that they went by the boys and they were targeting girls. Well, who is going to have expensive stuff? Girls are going to have the shoes and the purses, and, and she, even after this happened, Kelly Dodd showed all the expensive stuff, and there was some other woman in there, and they were like, all this stuff is going to such and such's house. So they must have a friend that lives in Paris or nearby that was going to hold the very expensive stuff. But, Jolie's going to want to wear it. She's going to want to use those items. So that means she's going to have it at some point. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Yes, No Plain Jane says, I love Kelly, but sometimes she needs to think before she speaks, and ADHD will make you do that. I speak from experience. I mean, me too. I'm not diagnosed, but I think all of us speak before we think too much and then regret it. I don't know if that's exactly ADHD. Who knows? She was the only one with a deadbolt locked. Okay, that so they didn't break in. That's kind of weird. I guess there's another way to lock from the outside, and these people had not done that. So yeah, Amy says on Instagram, some of these parents might not want their kids' location broadcasted to a million people online. Well, and also, I mean, we have three daughters in colleges. So I have experienced, if your kids went to college before Facebook, wow, consider yourself lucky or unlucky. I don't know. There's drama. So several of my closest friends, their kids went away to school. Their first kid went away to school, within the last week or two. So they are now experiencing the Facebook parent groups of these universities. They are the wild, wild west. I mean, from one extreme to another. But I'm just saying, I said this yesterday, I can only imagine. Matter of fact, there's probably people joining those Facebook groups of American University Paris just to get the drama and see what either Kelly Dodd is posting or what people are saying about her, the parents about these break-ins. I mean, if anything will get parents rattled up, which rightfully so, freaking break-ins of a university that, you know, break-ins happen. But to know it's the first week and these people were so brazen, like what time was it? Was this an inside job? Was this like like you have like welcome week and stuff where people are like gone way more, but not everyone goes to that stuff, right? So you don't even know, like, how are these people breaking in? It's crazy. Oh, yeah, these Facebook groups are always closed, and I would think so and secure, but there's always people that get in. I'm sure trust me, I've been around the Jeff Lewis chump listeners for a while. There are some people that are definitely in that Facebook group already for sure. Yeah. So Michael says during the day they were at welcome meetings. Exactly. So it almost sounds like an inside job, but also even from the outside, you should have to have a key to get into the apartment dorms in order to get into your actual dorm. Like I don't know. I don't like it one bit. I mean, I certainly I understand Kelly or anyone's frustration in everything. But the fact that she chose to sit and make an Instagram story in her, hotel before she went over and, got Jolie after she heard about this, it's wild. Anyways, love my chumpets. Thank you, Tanya. There's a break-in at the apartments in June as well. Okay, somebody said on TikTok. So where'd you get that information? Is this yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like an inside job to me, which is alarming. I mean, alarming. Anyways, okay. Oh, Jolie. Do y'all follow Jolie? Does Jolie post on Instagram? See, I would think that Jolie, being of a famous mom, especially a very divisive famous mom as Kelly Dodd, I would think she would have a private Instagram. Do kids even post on Instagram anymore? It's not even a thing. They post on like Snapchat or TikTok. I don't even know what they do. Instagram is for old people now too. I thought Facebook was, but it's like Instagram and Facebook. So anyways, let me know your thoughts about that. Okay. Pearly freaking sparkles. Okay. So y'all know I love Nat from Nat. Make sure you're following her on TikTok and Instagram. Yesterday she sent me a message. We usually text, but she sent me a message on TikTok and it said she was sending me a video to watch. Well, it didn't say who it's from. It just said it's been deleted or it was no longer available. So I messaged her back this morning and I was like, what was the video? Because it's gone. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, she deleted it. So she goes, hold on, I'll send you the video. I've got the recording. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally driving I was at a red light. I was driving to this mentor breakfast orientation. And I was like, oh my God, I want to watch this video. So it was less than a minute. It was Pearly Sparkles, who I've been chatting about But either I'm the only one fascinated about me and Nat are the only one fascinated by this because no one's really picking it up. Like nobody's really chatting about it in the comments. This is the third video I've made about her now lately. I think I put it on. I always put it on TikTok. It's under there as a under my playlist under celeb gossip maybe. But this is the girl that has apparently been on TikTok for like 4 years. When I started watching her like last fall, she was getting really big. Like, I think she didn't have a job. I think she's like around 33, 34 years old, definitely in San Diego. And she would, dress up real fun, pink hair, whatever, and like ask people to hold their phone and make a quick TikTok. And then she would fall on the ground and go chase them, or she would stand there and dance, like sing the hound dog song. So that's what she was kind of famous for. But Nat let me know that she was following her even a couple of years ago when her baby was little, and she would watch her. And she's on Instagram too. She's on Instagram. Cecily says, "I'm really old. I don't TikTok. Don't TikTok. It's such a time waster. It is like literally." Spencer Pratt was talking about how much he scrolls TikTok, but it's great for us self-diagnosed ADHD people. So I looked at the video and told Nat, I was like, "You need to make a video about this." And she was like, "I'm not going to have time. You go ahead and make a video." So I did. And basically, it's a minute long. Like I said, it's been deleted. She's basically replying to somebody that said, "Hey, were you lying about a few months ago when you came up and deleted your TikTok, brought it all back up, and your profile said that you were a member of the Latter-day Saints, you were all about God, you don't do hound dog anymore, you're all about Jesus, and you were going to church on Sundays." She was videoing herself in a car, making it seem as if she was living in a car, maybe renting a room or living with someone. It was really hard to understand, but she seemed to be in a better place as far as she was like cooking what looked like in a trailer or a RV. She was making healthy foods, talking about trying to diet and be healthier. And then all of a sudden, that didn't last long. She wasn't earning the views, and she wasn't going up, because when she came back up, she had no followers. She had deleted, not just silenced or paused or whatever you call your account that some people have done, some creators have done, but she had literally deleted it. So she came back up, and when I took a picture at one point, she had like 20,000 followers. Now she's back up to like 408,000. So even if she's not making TikToks regularly or doing the hound dog, she still has a lot of interest because she had so many hundreds of thousands of fans that followed her that are now so confused by who she is. But she didn't leave any confusion. She was like, "Yep, I lied about being a Christian. I lied about it because I didn't think my hound dog fans were following me as much. They definitely weren't giving me as much money as in bag," she talks about. And she says, "I thought the Christians, if I said that I was a Christian, I thought the Christian people would follow me more and they would give me money and rewards on TikTok." I mean, it was either the world's biggest lie and hoax, or she really doesn't give an F. Which, if she doesn't, then I'm just shocked, because I don't know how she walks to the grocery store, how she goes to Thanksgiving with her family and friends, you hope that she has, how her neighbors, that look at her and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said this." Now, if she's doing all of this as a hoax and just playing us all, then that's kind of gross. But sadly, I think a lot of creators do this. We are seeing how, especially YouTubers and people on TikTok, the fall of like people that there's a girl, it's a family. She's on YouTube, TikTok, and she shows like, what is her name? Oh my gosh, y'all are going to know who she is. Anyway, she's getting a lot of crap because she was coming at the mom of the 13-year-old that ended her own life, that is now talking about all of this is the TikTok, gossip. Gosh, what's her name? Aubrey. And the mom has this account now, and that mom was coming at that girl, so she got a lot of crap. And then people were like, "Unfollow her, don't give her any money," because she says and does a lot of very outrageous things with her kids and her family, I'm assuming for views and money. So a lot of this stuff is coming out now that they're just faking all of this stuff. So I don't know. I agree. Cecily says, poor kids today. I mean, I almost feel I've said this about the Housewives and any reality TV people today. I feel sorry for, I wonder, I'm confused, I'm perplexed, I'm shocked that these housewives that already have money, a lot of them already have fame, or they're married to someone famous, what have you. So either or, I'm surprised they put themselves out there with all the negativity that goes around with reality TV and social media when they have kids of age. You know, if they're a baby, yeah, they're going to hear about it eventually. But when they're like teenagers, preteens, 18 years old, you know, like Kelly Dodd's daughter, like she is getting, you know, Kelly's complaining about it, you know, don't come at my daughter. If you got something to say, come at me. But they're going to make fun of her. They're going to talk about her. They're going to be like, what the fuck? What is your mom doing? Like they're 18. They are going to talk directly to her and it's going to affect her in a negative way. I'm sure she gets a lot of positivity for being the daughter of a famous person, but you also get a lot of negativity. And a lot of TikTokers, creators, YouTubers get a lot of crap for using their kids for content, whether it's a baby, a 3-year-old, you know, a lot of it is very cute, but there's a lot of really gross reasons that people take and use videos and pictures too. Anyways, oh, we always leave time for questions at the very end. But Kimberly says, what do you think about the way Tamara is treating Shannon? Well, obviously, I think it's awful, but I also feel like it's for ratings. I feel like Tamara has nothing else going on in her own life of interest. Certainly, I'm not interested in her daughter Sophia's music career that she tried to tout the other day. What was that on? A podcast? Where did I see that? It was, you know how Bravo TV is doing these like video clips almost as if, I think they have this like social media only behind the scenes sort of where they're like interviewing people. And it was Tamara and her 18-year-old Sophia, who is just now on the show this year. But she was basically talking about how I don't care what people say negative about me because I don't care. I don't read it. I'm not even on social media much. But then she was like, well, let's promote your music career. So we now know why, you know, we now know why she's on there, right? So anyways, oh, someone's asking, do I ever talk about the challenge? No, not really. I mean, I've talked about CT. I know he's got a lot of fans. I know CT. I knew of him sort of, but I obviously learned of him from the Traders, where he, you know, in my opinion, he either screwed over MJ or they really played the game right. So either way. Okay. I didn't watch Dubai last night. I just ran out of time. I was at this event till like 9:30 and just ran out of time. $1 Million Listing. LA is on tonight though. So we will chat about that. And I will watch Dubai because, you know, I feel like I'm the only podcaster watching Dubai. Like I'm the sole girl talking about Dubai. I mean, I like the show. I like the show. What can I say? Oh, Yvonne says, so a lot of y'all are pro CT. I love CT. He's so sexy. From what I've heard about CT, like even MJ was it MJ? Somebody recently, was it Spencer Pratt? No, I'm listening to the Spencer Pratt interview with with the Sarah Fraser show. It's really good. Somebody was talking about CT and how he basically just does all these reality TV shows and then he disappears. Like he doesn't show up for the drama. He doesn't come to all these events. None of that. He just like takes the check and goes on. I'm like, I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah. Masmella, y'all talking about Tamara, says, I'm not interested in her second home money either. Right. Oh, Kimberly on TikTok says, I just can't stay interested in Dubai. I mean, I get it. It's hard to, you know, it's not the, do y'all think it'll get a season 3? Like, I'm not even sure. Well, that's true. So S Krakow, I don't know, on Instagram says, Dubai doesn't give me the anxiety like New Jersey and OC does. I mean, that's true. So Yeah, I find it fascinating. Cecily said, or Yvonne Gal says, I love those women in Dubai. I find them fascinating. I've talked about it before, but Chanel, Ian, Chanel, whatever she wants to be called this year. I'm fascinated by these very elaborate outfits, not even just outfits, the wigs, the hair, the makeup, the hats, the everything, like showing up to like Cheesecake Factory almost. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Oh, somebody said that yesterday. So is Kelty Knight? They're just trying to rack up drama, I think. Bravo Cal says Lady Gang is mad at Jeff Lewis Live, at Jeff Lewis for not coming on their podcast. I've heard that. I think he's just very purposeful with his time, and he has to think. First of all, he was just on somewhat recently, Tube Teas in a Pod. So he feels like, look, I've kind of donated my time enough. Like, I don't know. He's really good friends with Tamra. So, and they're in business together, whatever you want to call it, which, you know, Jeff has not bragged or promoted the sleep gummies in a while. Tamara's sleep gummies, the CBD. Is there something behind that? Did Shannon say, or is he feeling so obligated as in loyal to his friend Shannon Bedore? And he is not loving how, Tamara is obviously throwing her under the bus this season on OC? Interesting. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. Oh, Ann says on TikTok they don't work, the gummies. I mean, Kelty was being funny and not really mad. So yeah, that's why everybody has to listen to it. Nick James says his life is on the radio show. So if he's on someone else's show, he doesn't have anything to talk about because it's all on his show. I mean, kind of true. Yeah, kind of true. And yes, and Dumois. I mean, yeah. So he was on Dumois, Zach Noe Towers, and Two Teas in a Pod. So he's definitely gonna, maybe he'll come on Sarah from Texas one day. Oh my God, can you imagine? He'll be like, really, you've got 3 followers. I'll be like, yes, but they all love you. Okay, let's get into today's show. Thank you, ZFL. Are you new? Welcome. Love how you say anyways, and please never stop being you. Well, I got some really heartfelt advice from a chumpette the other day, and she really meant it, but she was like, don't talk about not knowing where Egypt is. You embarrass the teachers of the world, and, just don't share that stuff. And I'm like, look, for better or for worse, I am live. So I say things that I may not always mean to say, but also I don't know where Egypt is. I'm not the best with geography, and I really don't give a rat's ass that I don't know where Egypt is because it's not on my list of like, ooh, let's go to. And even if I've been somewhere, I may not know where it's at. Like, if I'm looking at a map, I know so I'm opposite of y'all because I'm assuming the video camera, but I'm in Texas. I know Hawaii's over here. New York City's over here. Las Vegas is kind of here. Oklahoma's up there. California, LA, that's about. Thank you, Kimberly says, I love how authentic you are. At 51 years old, there's no change in who I am authentically, right? I believe that, Jet, for sure. Dubai is the lowest rated of all the Housewives franchises. Yeah, I believe that. And, at some point, I don't know what it cost more or less to produce a show in Dubai because the country is so expensive to live there. I have no idea if that means production costs more. So at some point that might affect it, that it is the lowest rating, but also just being in Dubai, a very expensive, I assume, place to live. And they even might have they might even be restricted on production stuff that they could even do because Dubai has a lot of, rules. I don't know. Annie says, I love this. I love y'all's humor. I love you, Annie. Egypt is north of New Jersey in Teresa language. I love that for sure. I love Teresa. No, I don't. I love Teresa. Fascinated by Teresa. Thank you for buying a badge on Instagram, Pat. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get into today's show before we run. Oh, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Um, Yvonne Gal says that's a shame talking about Dubai because their drama is funny. They don't try to kill each other. Yeah, they are funny, but I Dubai is the newest of the franchises, so they have all watched, or especially, Caroline Stanbury, she was on Ladies of London. They know how to produce TV. So that's kind of what I don't like, is that they're so glammed up and they're so extra thin with Ozempic or GPL ones or whatever those things are called nowadays, the skinny shot. So that part I don't love. They wake up with makeup on. Like I like some of I like the shows that just wake up and don't, have all the makeup on and stuff. Cecily says about Plathville, do you know if they have an older daughter that's not on the show? Yeah, I talked about that the other day. Hosanna is her name. She's married with 2 kids. So Barry and Kim are grandparents. Yeah, they've got 2 grandbabies. And I don't know if she's ever been on the show, but she's definitely wants nothing to do with the show. And she lives far. So even though they film in Minnesota, where's the apartment that Ethan and Olivia shared, and then they now film in South Florida where Micah and his girlfriend Veronica live. They film in whatever that city is, that is it Jacksonville, wherever it is that Kim is living on the boat, and they film in Georgia where Barry lives and some of the kids live with him part-time. So crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, on today's Jeff Lewis, it was Crystal Minkoff, who has absolutely grown on me. Like, I saw a video the other day of Crystal Minkoff and Rhobh, her husband, coming out of a restaurant, probably that South Grill or whatever not South Beverly Grill. What's the one that costs money to literally be a member of? Like crazy. Oh goodness. Katrina. Oh, I'm being rude to Egyptians. Okay. Please don't say you don't give a rat's ass where Egypt is. It's rude to Egyptians. I apologize to Egyptians everywhere. Okay. Seriously. Life is not that serious. Okay. But Crystal Minkoff and Rhobh are coming out of some fancy restaurant where paparazzis are. And somebody asked for Soho Club. Yeah, I bet it was Soho Club. And Rhobh, instead of giving an autograph, he like freaking draws right on the spot. He's like drawing the Lion King. So I don't know. I guess I thought he was only a director, not only a director, but I didn't know he was also an artist. It was crazy. So it was very impressive. But was it on? No, it was on the show where they talked about, because Jeff, thinks that she was a great housewife, and towards the end, she didn't give any Fs. And so she would make a better housewife now going back than she did on the Housewives, because she admitted, I cared way too much about how the edits might be and how that was going to affect my husband, who is also famous. And not only is he famous for producing children's content, which really made a lot of sense to me. I thought she would be worried about, her family and the culture and making sure that she's representing herself well and not embarrassing her family, because that's very important in her culture she's talked about, and her children. But she was more, which made sense, about her husband and his Disney career. So it actually made sense to me. But, she said, never say never. She never thought she'd be a housewife. She does not need the money. Like, they are. Who was it the other day? Cynthia, talking about how she's really good friends with Crystal Minkoff. I think they're going to do a podcast together, although shh. And she's like, I am cheap, but Crystal Minkoff is even cheaper, which I love. I love the idea of a friend calling me up saying, hey, it's buy one, get one free. Let's go split a meal. Like, I would just die. Like, that would be my bestie so much. But instead, I tend to be the cheap one in the friendship. I'm definitely the cheap one in our marriage. Like, Brian could care less. And I'm always like, it's cheaper to fly on this day. It's cheaper to do this. This is a good deal, all the things. It was Craig's. Okay. So I'm Cheryl Crow says he was in front of Craig's last night, Sonny. So that's what it was. He was in front of Craig's, which, I mean, Craig's, you're gonna, Does anyone go to I've never been to Craig's, but people are going for the paparazzi for sure. Matter of fact, chumpettes, which I love, several chumpettes have told me that they went to Craig's because they wanted to see famous people, and all the paparazzi, when they get out of their Uber, like, they turn away or drop their cameras because 'cause they're like, "Oh, they're not even famous." So, anyways, pretty funny. So Jeff really likes Tracy Tudor, which I love Tracy Tudor. I've met her. I want to say I've only met her once, but I was chatting it up with her and Megan and Kristen Takeman at the Bravo party that Jeff Lewis hosted and invited me to at the 2023 BravoCon. She is beautiful. I mean, not that she's not pretty on, Instagram and on the Jeff Lewis pictures, but we have seen on the Jeff Lewis video commercials, they're tweaking, they're editing. What do you call it? Filtering. They're filtering the coffee pictures a little bit now, and Jeff has even complained that they've filtered a little too harsh on his sometimes. So there is no filtering needed. She is freaking beautiful. Comes from money, but still works her tail off. She shows everything on reality TV on Million Dollar Listing LA. Super raw about parenting, super raw about her ex-husband and how he cheated on her, how her latest ex-boyfriend, Eric, who was on the show they dated 3.5 years. He lived with her. He like micro cheated with some OnlyFans girl. But I love today was the first time I had heard that the reason the OnlyFans girl reached out and kind of tattled on her is because the guy, he asked for a refund. So I don't know. I don't do any OnlyFans. I think OnlyFans is a per month subscription, or maybe you can buy certain things. Maybe it's kind of like Cameo where you can have a certain video made for you, or you can pay to message with them. But whatever it was, he freaking asked for a refund. And I think on top of everything, that was just like gross to the OnlyFans girl. And so he reached out and found that Tracy was her girlfriend. So to me, it was a blessing. She said that it was just kind of like the ending, like there was a million reasons that it needed to end. And this was just kind of like the last straw. So, but then she goes on to tell us that they've hooked up at least 5 times since they broke up. Like hooked up, like friends with benefits. But she's like, look, I'm not dating. It's hard to date. Mama needed some loving, and he is hot. And I'm sure, they dated 3.5 years. So I think it's one of those things that, he probably wants to eventually have a family. She's like, look, I'm donezo. My 2 girls are older. Like one is starting community college right now, and then she's going to go to USC in the spring. So she's not having any of that. Oh, I've heard of that account. I don't know. Does he have a podcast? Deborah says The Real Andy of Beverly Hills. Is that the name of his account? Covers Dubai. Good. Somebody else. I should go over to his stuff and look and make sure, see if he agrees. Oh, Cecily, good question. What is micro cheating? They've chatted about this a few times on Jeff Lewis. Basically, kind of like, especially if you're famous, it's even worse. Like the embarrassment factor that Crystal and Jeff talked about it with Gage. When you're famous, people pay attention. Remember Heather McDonald, the likes of it all, what comments you liking? What do you, whatever. When you're famous and married or in a public relationship and you were following some hot model on Instagram, or you're liking those videos, it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, unless that's your cousin, but like DMing, like not full on going on a date, not having sexy time. But, I guess I've also heard on 90 Day Fiance, they talk about it a lot because, they all want to see, no one trusts each other on 90 Day Fiance. They all want to see the phones, and like, these people will DM, and they will. I mean, I've got a story that I can't share, and I wish I could. Maybe they'll give me permission soon. But anyways, I've got a story from the Phoenix live event about a chump listener and somebody in a DM situation. So let's just say people have no problem DMing, celebrities and trying to get some action. It's the celebrity factor. I'm sure just like that's why when people cheat with a celebrity, they end up telling someone because they're bragging about it, right? And then that celebrity gets ratted out. Um, okay, what else? They of course Jeff teases Crystal about her parenting and not wanting to be with her kids. I did not realize whatever's going with her daughter's shoulder or elbow, whatever it is that happened at camp, like it's not fixed. So she's going to actually like physical therapy and stuff. So that actually is kind of alarming because, it seems like not funny because, breaking your bone is not funny at camp, but Jeff was kind of making it lighthearted, but now we hear that it's not healing well, and that's not a good thing for a parent to have to deal with. Jordy says, have you binged the season of Dance Moms yet with the girl playing John Benet Ramsey? Is this the new Dance Moms? I haven't even watched the new Dance Moms. I sort of forgot about it. Like, I loved the original Dance Moms so much. Like, I don't know that I can bring myself to watch the new one, but I sort of forgot about it, to be honest with you. Wait. Oh, Perez Hilton. I thought it was the real Perez Hilton. I was like, what? Is Perez Hilton really in here? Is he on my TikTok? I would just, I don't think it is. But somebody's saying, Perez Hilton, I love you. Is Perez Hilton on my TikTok? Anyways. Oh my God. That would be good. I know he lives in Las Vegas now because I watch his videos, but if Perez Hilton would come on Jeff Lewis Live, that would be interesting. Okay. And Tracy, so relatable. So relatable. I don't know why. Maybe it's the the downturn in the real estate. I mean, rich people suffer too, honey. But her 16-year-old Scarlett is at public school. So she's out of private school and now she's enrolled at Beverly Hills High. And I don't know if anyone, knows what kind of people go to Beverly Hills High. I would sort of assume they're very wealthy, but maybe she just said, looking at the kids coming out of the school, she's basically getting a taste of reality now, which I guess even at Beverly Hills High, like, I think I know a lot of very famous people. I'm trying to think of who they are now. A lot of people have actually gone to Beverly Hills High, like famous or, kids of rich people. Because, I mean, whatever. It's not only money. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons people don't choose private school. You know what I mean? Debbie says that's horrible that Crystal's daughter hurt her arm at camp to the point where she now needs physical therapy and she just left her there. Yeah, I think in hindsight, she's probably going, oh, but I think the nurse like assured her that, got the cast and all that. I don't know. I'm sure she's beating herself up. Like, that's one of those mom things that you would be like, beating. Oh, the Shaws, did MJ? I felt like she did. Bravo Cal says Mercedes went to Beverly Hills High. I felt like she did for sure. I couldn't get a sense. We'll talk about it in a minute, but Jeff Lewis Extended today was a new person. It was for sure. Sharon says, all I know is 90210 from the TV show. I mean, for sure. Beverly Hills 90210. R.I.P. Luke. Oh my gosh. Still can't believe it. Luke. But there was a new person named Amy Messing. I guess she's married to Deborah Messing's brother, holistic dating coach who was really good. Somebody in comments said it was a new improved Patty Stanger. And I was like, oh my God. Patty Stanger's like, what the fuck? Don't be talking about me like that. Anyways, but MJ, since she's a holistic dating advice person, clearly Jeff had a lot of stuff to chat about. Tracy Tudor stayed on the show to get advice. And I couldn't tell if MJ, like, I'm always trying to figure out, like, is she happy in her marriage? She talked about going to a wedding recently and she was just sobbing because they had met on Hinge, the app. And I was like, I understand happy tears at a wedding, but why are you like, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out, but I have about 20 minutes left of the show. So I didn't get a chance when I was a little delayed because since I was gone for a little bit this morning, everything else I had to get done got pushed back. So anyways, um, what else? Today's Monroe's first day of school, and Jeff doesn't even, I don't think he engaged. It's Gage's week. Jeff didn't know if Gage took her, if he put her on the bus, if she's riding the bus home. Apparently Gage, which I'm kind of surprised of, Gage wants her to ride the bus, which I don't know if it's like for experience, my kids rode, I paid for the bus. So our elementary is a rule that a lot of people have: 2 miles or under, you have to pay for the bus because they assume you're going to walk or ride your bike, which no one in the 2020s, 20 whatever, 2000s is going to do that. I mean, I'm not. Anyways, but I swear to you, my house is 1 millimeter away from the 2 mile mark. As the crow's nest flies or whatever they call it. Anyways, I fought it. They denied me, whatever. I paid for the bus though, even as a stay-at-home mom. 3 kids, kindergarten, 2nd grade, 4th grade at a time, which was like $800 or $900 a year, which isn't terrible. Because it was easier. I was also carpooled. I carpooled with other people, and when my kids were napping, it was easier not to have to load everybody in a car, have a poopy diaper, whatever, they're hungry, whatever, and load everyone up just to take one kid to school. So for me, it was personally worth it. But also my kids liked the bus. I mean, they complain sometimes about, they'll fit 3 kids to a bus. And if kids are various sizes, maybe that gives you little no room, no air conditioning, people fighting or cussing on the bus, whatever. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things, I feel like. If you cannot, though, it's 7 years old. Like, to me, I guess it's different because she's famous, but I guess all those kids that go to her school probably are famous, right? So I guess it really doesn't matter. Who knows? I love how they talked about islands. So I can't believe I've gone to islands so many times. Where did I see this? Somebody said, no, it wasn't islands. I feel like somebody said West Hollywood was getting an islands, but I think I'm wrong. I think somebody under Joey Zalzig's comments said that Erewhon was coming to West Hollywood, but I feel like it's right there. Like there's an Erewhon. We were at Pola 2's boutique in Beverly Hills, and it was pouring down rain. We literally walked to the Erewhon over there to get a meal. Remember, I posted on my Instagram at the time. I got I don't know what it was, salmon and 2 sides. I swear to you, it was like $42. I was like, oh my God, from the freaking grocery store deli. I was like, wow, this is Erewhon. This is Erewhon. Thank you for following me on TikTok. I appreciate it. Anyways, but they talked about islands today and their love for it. I guess it's a chain that's on the more reasonable end, so they kind of joke about it. But apparently, Tracy Tudor and Josh Flagg, who have, lots of money, love islands. And then it made me think, why have I never been to islands when I'm in Los Angeles? Like they talk about the burgers, they talk about the onion rings. I love a good onion ring. They have this stack of onion rings thing that I want to try. So I think next time I'm going to go to that. Oh my God. Bravo and Stone says, advice from MJ about relationships. I'd rather a decaf coffee reading. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that she was Oh, Victoria says, islands is so disgusting. What's gross about it? Is it dirty? Is it old, outdated? Is the food gross? Or the bathrooms gross? Or the employees gross? Is the food just not taste good? Or is it because it's kind of fast foody? Is it kind of, I figure it's kind of like a burger joint of like a Chili's, kind of a, reasonable priced chain. I don't know. I literally have no idea because I don't know where else they're at. Are they only in LA? I know they said there's one in Newport and one in the Valley, maybe they talk about. Oh, they're expensive. Okay, Victoria Winter on Instagram says, islands is just a bunch of expensive burgers that aren't worth it. Go to In-N-Out. I don't love In-N-Out. The food is just blah and crusty. Well, They love it. Yes. Jackie says MJ met Tommy on, I think she said Hinge, and it might have been, yes, it might have been Hinge. I think she did say it was Hinge. Oh, it's tacky. Maybe that's why Jeff likes it. I think, Jeff grew up with money. He definitely wasn't poor. He talked about houses. I mean, private school, and they had horses, and, Tom Lewis owned businesses. What was Jeff's first car? I feel like it was a BMW. Why am I thinking, what was Jeff's first car? He's talked about it before. Maybe a Mercedes. I don't remember. Anyways, he definitely grew up with money, but I think he likes not being humbled. I think he likes casual. I don't think he likes hoity-toity. I say that, and then he goes to, Soho House, and he goes to, what's the place in New York that he loves? It's super, sounds like hoity-toity. Like I would be like so weird. It was an old Jaguar. Debbie Kate says it was an old Jaguar. Cecily says not everybody eats healthy in LA. Oh, definitely not. There are definitely some Taco Bells in LA for sure. I mean, for sure. I love that your Instagram name is Wife of Jeff. That would actually be a funny Jeff Lewis fan account name, Wife of Jeff, because clearly he's not. Are you really proud of being Jeff's wife? Or is it a play on something? I almost want to think it's a Jeff Lewis fan account. I love it. If it is, I'm going to follow you. Wife of Jeff. That's hilarious. I like that she talked about, so Jeff is a fan of $1 Million Listing LA, as am I. Season 15 is on right now tonight, but he kind of, he doesn't like seeing like all the boring, he wants to see all the deals. And she's like, well, look, it is a TV show. They're going to show the $25 million listings. They're not going to show like all the stuff now that I'm doing that's like a 7 million house just to get by, but I do like that they are showing that houses can get listed and can not, the deals get broken and they don't go through. I kind of like that too. Wife of Jeff is proud to be Jeff's wife for 18 years. I love that. Don't say that. I'm human, not happy. Says, is this the last season? No, please no. I actually love, now there was a huge gap. So somebody gave me a good reason that they're not into this season of $1 Million Listing LA. I think on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, we were chatting about it because it's like 2 years ago that they recorded this. So maybe not exactly 2. It's not 2 because he was already on the outs with Andrew, and she had already broken up. She had just ended things. Tracy, when this season kind of started, had just ended things with her and Eric. So it wasn't, but it feels like they waited so long. Like they filmed it and then waited so long for it to come out. So at some point, we are just fast. And, these people have such a huge, especially being realtors, they are, especially Tracy. I mean, she is the queen. Whoever helps with her social media is a genius because they show her personal side. They show her funny side. They show her social side. Definitely promote her businesses and her open houses and her Dallas people and, the fun and her vacations. Like they're doing an excellent thing. But when you are a realtor, that is now part of it. I would almost venture to say it's almost, no, not every career, but definitely real estate. You kind of got to show all those sides of you. The engagement is real, which we'll chat about because she said the first and last name of the guy's Instagram for the guy that she's been telling Jeff that she wants to hook up with in her Dallas office. So I couldn't catch the name. It was not an odd name, but it was like Delion. I don't know what the first name. It wasn't like John Smith. It wasn't like easy. And I was busy. So anyways, I went to Tracy Tudor's Instagram and saw who she followed and put in DAL or DE. I don't even know what I put. Finally found him because then the name matched up, and he only has like 3,000 followers, not even that much. And then he's cute, and he's a realtor. And I look at one picture, one story post, and it said liked by Joey Zalzig. And I was like, wait a minute. How does Joey Zalzig know this guy? and know him enough. So you have to understand, in this whole game of social media, a like is very important. Like when I get a like from Kathy Hilton or Countess Luann, which I get often, don't get them from Jeff Lewis. Jeff will look at my stories and posts that I whatever. Almost never is he going to like or comment. He's done it once, remember? September 2022 ish. He commented on my Instagram post that said, and then he's gotten on an Instagram live with me before, in comments and was commenting, but he said, I appreciate and love you being a fan, or I appreciate you being a fan, or something like that. Love and appreciate your support. But he almost never does. But I'm say that to say, it's kind of a thing. I don't know how many people Joey follows, but I was like, this guy only has 3,000 followers. It's not like he's a multi-million follower person. So he's famous, but he's also in Dallas. Like, as far as I know, Joey has never lived in Dallas. He didn't go to school in Dallas. Like, there's no reason he would know him. So I was on delay. So I don't know, because we don't know when people like something. I don't know if Joey just started following him after he'd listened to the show today and then went and liked some of his stuff. I have no idea. But I was just like, interesting, like random, not interesting, random. I was surprised to see that Joey Zalzig liked it. Now, Shane already follows the guy. Wait, no. That was Amy. That was this Amy Messing girl. Because when you look at someone's profile, if you follow someone, it says right away the people that they follow to let you know you have that in common. So anyways, Jet says, whatever happened to the social media person you had hired last year? Did y'all part ways? Yeah, I mean, Annie was great. I personally loved the videos that I was paying for her to make. I thought it was a great idea. It was not I wasn't even equaling out. Like, you get paid off of Instagram Reels, and it also should promote your podcast and bring more followers to you. And it was dead in the water, like bad coincidence. But as soon as I hired her, it was like my followers like stopped. It was around September last year that I hired her. And I think the last video she made for me, I don't even remember when it was, probably a week or two before my January show. So I did see her at the January show. Her and her mom were there. Anyway, so wish her the best. But I've referred her because when I told her, I hired her first, and then Chef Stu asked me who I was using for my videos. I told him about her. He started using her and hired her for the September 30th event and that I went to in LA to make videos for him. He exploded. I mean, of course he does food content most of the time. Now he's got a podcast. I mean, he went from like 80,000 followers, maybe 60,000, to now like almost 300 something thousand because of the videos that she was making, these cooking videos. I mean, they got like 10 million views. So for him, it made sense. But for me, I was paying and spending time co-producing these videos and the ideas and the content and the making of the clips and listening and taking pictures, and it was a lot, and they weren't doing well. So anyways, and I thought they were fantastic. So anyways, but at the end of the day, it was a money thing and it didn't make sense, a money and a time thing. So anyways, Whitney says islands are like a Fridays. They were here in Arizona. So it's a bigger chain. They're in lots more places. So what else? We already talked about the micro cheating. Okay, that's about it. Jeff Lewis extended. It was kind of a lot at first. I loved her voice. I thought she was very, hey, Cat on TikTok. Very good voice. I went and had to take a picture of her. Her hair was in a ponytail. She had some really cute jeans on. MJ's picture I shared it on my Instagram story. MJ looked kind of casual today. I think she had a hat on. Maybe she had glasses on. I feel like there was something casual about her. She had cute jeans on too, I think. Anyways, but it was Shane, Jeff, Tracy Tudor, MJ, and Amy. It was a little bit of not talking over. It was just a lot of people. I thought she had a lot to say. Like I said, I still have 10 or 15, 20 minutes to listen to. So if anything amazing happened at the very end, let me know. Um, but I loved her voice. Love Deborah Messing. I mean, Deborah Messing, do y'all remember her from that show? Like she probably Will and Grace. I mean, I know she's done a million other things. I think she had a podcast. She probably still does. At this point, who doesn't have a podcast? Speaking of, even if you don't listen to me as a podcast, will you go find my podcast wherever you listen to it, wherever, and hit a 5-star review and make a review? I would really appreciate it. That would be just dandy because when you have a lot of reviews, good reviews, hopefully, and a lot of stars, it just helps the algorithm also for because no one knows what Sarah from Texas is. So that's the hard part about switching from Jeff Lewis Obsessed as a podcast name and an account name. Everyone knew, oh, she's about Jeff. She's going to talk Jeff Lewis. She's probably going to talk reality TV, celebrity gossip. Now that I'm Sarah from Texas, it's like that doesn't exactly spell out by the name what my content is, but it's also a good thing because I chat about so many different things, but also if it helps bring it up to other people when there's more reviews and more stars or whatever. Yeah, here's you then. Thanks for noticing. Why does Spotify episodes not show the video anymore? You only post the audio version now. You know, I don't know why. I'm going to text her and ask her. My friend Sarah Fraser, y'all know I love her. She is a genius, but she said, so I love a video option. Like if I could watch the full podcast of her interviewing Spencer Pratt, I would. She just puts up video clips on her Instagram stories and her TikToks. But I would love that. That's what I was doing with Annie. I paid her to make these clips of my podcast that were, fun, or any stories I was doing, but mostly of my podcast. She said, Sarah Fraser told me that nobody was doing video anymore, not to put up video. So I'll ask her. Maybe I'll start putting it up again. It's literally a click of a different button of just, it's literally the click of a button. So, it doesn't, I'll do it today. You know what? I'll do it today. Yeah. Cecily says, I want visual. I'm the same way. That's why I often forget. And like last night, I just forgot and didn't have time to listen or to watch the Jeff Lewis video. But I love watching the pre-show, the commercials. If I didn't do a podcast every day at 2 p.m. Texas time and wasn't on this time crunch to watch, well, I like knowing everything in real time. But anyways, I would just watch the video because I love seeing who's drinking something, if they put their glasses on, if they're looking at their phone, if they spill coffee, I love to see how they look at each other. That's why Jeff loves to do a podcast in person. He's not about the Zoom. So remember, that was kind of an argument a pissing contest that he and Andy Cohen got into the summer of 2023 because Andy wanted to come on Jeff Lewis to promote one of his books coming out, his latest book, and Jeff didn't want him to come on. He wanted to wait till Jeff was in New York and he could have him in the studio in person because it's a whole different dynamic. I mean, y'all know I used to have a co-host in California. Didn't work out. She went 180 on me. But there was also like this 1 second delay. So I would start talking, she would start talking. It's just a different vibe if you're in the room chatting with someone. Like I kind of have to do Zoom with people because no one's coming to Texas, to do my podcast. And a lot of people do, but there's something about these very successful podcasters that have a studio and video cameras set up and they can just sit on a couch live with their guests. It is so much better. And I love watching a podcast over just audio. And a lot of people put it up on YouTube. So anyways, but that's also one reason I put it up everywhere because I know people have favorites and some people only have one thing. So this podcast goes up every day as a replay and live on my Facebook page, Sarah from Texas, YouTube live, Sarah from Texas, TikTok live, but it doesn't go up as a replay because that's a TikTok thing. And then it goes up as a podcast about 10 to 15 minutes later. So anyways, Oh, yeah, we don't talk about her. Like, I'm not giving her 2 seconds of if I breathe a name that starts with that, they go crazy because they have nothing better to do in life. Losers. Jet says Deborah Messing is iconic, but I think she keeps a low profile, like she's not out there publicly that much. I know during the pandemic, I saw either that she was on a podcast promoting her podcast, um, something, and but at that time, I was like, I don't know. I really think podcasts are the way of the future. I mean, I just think everyone likes to listen to content on demand, and that's why people, like to watch you. Oh God, that's so weird to me. Shout out Cecily. She says, I got you on my big screen TV on YouTube. It's always so weird to me. I love it. It's very sweet. But when chumpettes send me pictures of me and like usually their dog or cat, which is so adorable, watching me on their TV, it's kind of like it's surreal. Anyways, I don't know. I want to. Here's you then says, are you making a new podcast about advice? I want to. I love I think it is so needed for people to anonymously and confidently ask for somebody's honest advice on a situation, whether it's a friend situation, how to raise their kids, what to do about their teenagers, what to do about their 2-year-old. I mean, relationships. I mean, I feel like I'm 51 years old. I have a lot of life experiences. I can chat about most anything. I may not have personal experience with a lot of things, but I can empathize and give, advice, but I want to do it in a way where the audience can also chime in. So I don't know if I want it to be a phone call thing. I don't think, almost like Tinks, but for 51-year-old, you know what I mean? Like for a more broad, I feel like Tinks does an advice podcast radio show on Radio Andy where people can call in live. So I know there's ways to do it where you get like an 800 number or you get these WhatsApp phone numbers even. So I got to figure it out. I need someone to guide me on that. I need to get some advice on that. So, but let me know in comments or send me a DM if you think that sounds good. Like maybe there's people out there doing it. I don't know, but there's no one that I know of doing it. And I would still do this. I still love chatting with y'all. That, or I don't know if I would just put it on like the last 5 or 10 minutes of this show, of this podcast. Cecily says, when my husband comes home, he asks, who is she and what is she talking about? And I don't even try to explain. Who is that crazy Sarah from Texas? Anyways. Okay. So real quick, and we'll wrap it up very soon, but Jeff said he's still not ready to date. It's been about 10, 11 months since he and Chef Stu broke up. And he just says the people that he was dating early on after their breakup, it was too soon. And now he's just focusing on his child, his business, his radio show, design, maybe another TV show. I don't think he mentioned TV show, but he's just trying to focus on all of that. You know what I mean? But the most advice that I've heard from this Amy holistic dating coach so far is she said the dating apps do work and to be real in your profile. So that's what they said. Yes. I know. I mean, Reddit is bleh, 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 bleh. Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. Okay, we went late today. We were just chatty. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of surprised too. So here's you then says, I'm surprised he's not gone back to Stu. But he said again today, I wanted to be with my ex all the time because I didn't trust him. So he makes the trusting comments all the time. So still about Stu. So yeah. But then again, would I have ever in 1,000 years have believed that he was trying to get a whoop whoop from Gage? Not this Christmas, but last Christmas. Remember when he was with Chef Stu, he was admittedly in a relationship and he was texting, trying to get some extra daddy opportunities. And then Gage had to come out and tell the world. So I never say never, because I would have never thought in a million years that Jeff would be pursuing Gage, but it made sense to me. Jeff even said, look, we have a child together. I just wanted our family together. You know what I mean? So that made sense to me. I love that Jet says overtime pay, time and a half for Sarah today. Yep. Maybe I'll make $12 off the podcast today. Literally, it's so weird. Like, usually we have about 2,000 views on my YouTube. And because Instagram, I don't even think I make any money on that. Like, I don't, in TikTok, if someone gives me a reward or a badge or something, then you make money. But I mean, there's no like, this isn't paying the rent or anything. But on YouTube, it can really vary, and I have no idea what the things are. But sometimes I'll make $12 on a show and I'll make $68. So it's super random. Anyway, so maybe overtime. Woo woo. Anyways, thank you so much for. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh God, here's you then said someone this is the problem. I love Chef Stu, but I would always tell him, stop DMing with these people. They're gonna share your crap. Okay, someone showed DMs of Stu confiding in fans saying he was the love of his life and wants him back because they're meant to be. This was a while ago. I mean, how long is a while ago though? But also, I do worry. Some of these people know how to almost like make a fake text. So I wonder if people know how to make a fake looking DM nowadays. So I'm not saying Stu may or may. 8 months ago. That's somewhat early with the breakup. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me. Love Stu, love Stu, but and y'all love it, but he can get chatty in the DMs. And sometimes he would say things that people would then copy and paste and send to me. And I'm like, Stu, they are definitely sending this shit to Jeff. So be careful what you say, because you can trust me, but you can't trust everyone. They want to be the one to, it's like Kelly Dodd the other day posting after, it's still up on her Instagram. It's like, I knew that that Vicky Gunvalson almost died because her boyfriend Michael called me and told me she almost died in the hospital, but he asked me not to tell, so I didn't. So I can keep a secret. It's definitely one of those things where people hear that someone has announced their pregnancy and then they come out and say, "Oh, I knew she was," so people always want to put out information. But when you're a celebrity and you were saying things in the DM, like Chef Stu would, people are going to copy and paste that and send that on to people. And they would for sure. Because they would send it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways. Yes, exactly. Craft services. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry we went a little bit long, but I love chatting with y'all so much. If you love reality TV, celebrity gossip, Jeff Lewis, join me every weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're following me, liking, hit the heart button, hit the thumbs up button, make a comment, share the button. There's a button at the bottom of each one of them to share with a friend. I would appreciate it so much. I will see you same place, same time tomorrow. Forgot who's on. Who is on tomorrow? Totally forgot who's on tomorrow. Anyways. Okay. Bye, y'all. Bye, TikTok. Oh, I can see all the... That's weird. Oh, I don't know how to get off now. It did something weird. TikTok. Do not know what happened. I pushed something weird. Okay, I don't know how to fix that. I'll fix it. Bye, Instagram. Bye, YouTube and Facebook.